What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know that this is medical school application time, so in this video I'm going to talk over some do's and don'ts for applications. Before I give you the do's and don'ts, something that I want you to know is that an application is akin to telling a story. You are the storyteller. You have to have a hook, something that you're trying to convince your readers for. So, your entire application has to support the hook. For medical school application, your hook is why you want to become a doctor. And your entire application has to support or give reasons to that hook, that statement, in one way or another. The reasons don't have to be directly correlated, but it has to be related. For example, to be a doctor, you need to be altruistic. What have you done to show that you are altruistic? Perhaps you have volunteered in a food bank for 4 years or so, amassing hundreds of hours. See, in this example, you don't have to write out say that you're altruistic. The reader was able to glean that from your activity of volunteering in a food bank. Even for MCAT score, that's supporting the hook. You have the smarts to be a medical student and a doctor. A good MCAT score is supporting that hook by providing to the admission committee that you can handle the rigor of medical school. The application is just a hook, and you're trying to give supporting reasons for that hook to show the admission committee that you'll be a great medical student and a great medical doctor. Now, with that in mind, let's go into the do's and don'ts of applying to medical school. First of all, be sincere and truthful. First, as you're writing your personal statement and activity descriptions, make sure that you're being true to yourself. Don't adopt the model of 10% truth and 90% embellishment. Trust me, admission committee has an uncanny ability to tell what is bullshit. So write about yourself honestly. What was your experience? What did you learn from it? And how did that develop you? Why do you want to become a doctor? What is your story? What makes you unique? If you truly, frankly write from your heart, your honest heart, you will exude confidence and individuality. And that's what you want to show to your readers. Make sure you have medical setting experiences. This is kind of an obvious tip since you're applying to medical school, but have clinical and medical experiences. How can you persuade the admission committee that you're fully committed to medicine if you haven't spent any time in a hospital or a clinic with medical professionals? Remember, medical schools want to produce medical doctors who will serve the people. To them, this is not a business deal. This is a human-to-human deal. To them, the deal is that they will admit you and they will teach you medicine so that you can take care of people. So, you have to show them that you have spent significant time in a medical setting to know that this is exactly what you want to do. An additional tip, in my opinion, a clinical activity should definitely be marked as a most meaningful experience in your AMCAS application. Talk about hobbies freely. Most of your application is going to be serious and somewhat tailored to answer the hook of why you want to study medicine and be a doctor. In your hobbies section, I think you should feel more liberated. Show them that you are a normal human being too, who likes to run marathons, play the saxophone, or dance the salsa. They want human doctors, not robotic doctors. In this section, show that you have a life outside of academics and medicine. You want to be able to portray that you have a balance. You need to have a balance in medical school, in residency, and as an attending, and also in life in general. You want to have an anchor that grounds you. You want to show that here in this section. Be free and wild in this section. Talk about your crazy and wildest hobbies. In effect, this will also answer your hook. What makes you unique? What makes you rare? What makes you stand out? For example, my standout hobby is that I'm a real estate investor, and my interviewers were very interested in that and asked me many questions about it. It's unique, it's different, it is me. Make sure your academic records are adequate. If not, improve them. You know if your stats will get you into the Harvard level medical school or a state level medical school. At the end of the day, you'll become a doctor. If you think your test scores or GPA are inadequate, fix them. If your GPA is bad, consider doing a master's program in a biomedical science. If your MCAT is bad, study for it again and retake it. The answer to a problem is usually quite simple, but the execution, the actual work, is often not easy. So, if you need to improve your academic records, strap down and get to work. Show examples of initiatives. As a doctor, you are a leader. You are the one responsible at the end of the day. So what have you done that shows that? Are you always a follower? Do you just do what you have been told? Are you just another brick in the wall? If you're naturally introverted and somewhat of a follower, nothing wrong with that, but you can change that. And you should change that because you need to develop your leadership skills to be a doctor. So initiative of different kinds. For example, perhaps you like pottery and you started a club for that. Or you have a fear of public speaking. So you join Toastmasters and then eventually climb the ranks to be the club president. Whatever it is, show that you care about the developing yourself portion. And then you can point out a problem and you're able to take the initiative to completely or partially fix it. Don't be another brick in the wall. Do community service. You should be able to show the AdCom that you have doctor-like qualities with your experiences and activities. Also, that you are a normal, balanced person who has other interests. For example, you may love to play piano. Maybe you play piano at your local church for entertainment. That is a community service that is not medically related. If you haven't done much community service that is not medically related, then find one and run with it. But don't do it for the application. Do it because you enjoy it. Find something that you truly enjoy. There are so many options out there. For example, I remember volunteering in a museum, helping a museum curator. But I found that extremely boring. I instead switched over to volunteering in food bank. I loved it. I made great friends and great memories. I still to this day volunteer in a food bank. Not because of an application, but I genuinely find it rewarding and enjoyable. Get good letters of recommendations. When you ask your supervisors or your superiors for letters of recommendation, make sure they truly know you. They should be able to know your first name without having to ask you or by looking at the class roster. They should know you in a personal level. They should be able to vouch for you. Again, the letter of recommendation is supporting the hook. This is an external validation of your doctor-like qualities. What are you exuding to others? How do people perceive you? The letter of rec should not be objective with your letter grades for the class. That can be retrieved from your transcript. The letter of rec should be subjective and talks about your personality. If needed, maybe you can tell your recommendation letter writer what to talk about. Tell them what the letter should talk about. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they have no experience in writing letters of recommendation for medical schools. For example, I had to ask my supervisor in my engineering job, and I had to tell him what medical schools are looking for. get involved in research. Research is what advances our scientific understanding and it quenches our scientific thirst. Research is how treatment plans are created. Research is how vaccines are created. You want to talk about your research experience? It shows that you have a scientific curiosity and that perhaps in the future you would like to participate in discovering new principles and inventing new methods in medicine or the sciences. Now, you don't have to have research to get into medical school, but it will never hurt. It will only bolster your application. So if you have some time, do some research. Do it. It will make you a better applicant. And also, you don't even know if you like it or not if you don't do it. Give it a shot and see how it is. Only apply when you're fully ready. You know when your application is the best it ever can be. Don't lie to yourself and be lazy about it. You intrinsically know if you have given your all for something. Only apply when you feel that emotion that you have given your all for this application. Otherwise, you are just wasting money and time. It is easy to just apply and hope for the best, but at what cost? If you truly think that another year worth of work, experience, and etc. will significantly improve your chances in this application, then take that gap year. A year delay in medical education is not going to matter in the long term. You should avoid having to reapply. Only apply when you are completely and utterly ready. Apply early. Most schools are in a rolling admission, and it pays huge dividends to apply as soon as the application opens. This will most optimize your chances of getting in. Apply to a wide variety of medical schools. Every school is different. They may have different mission statements, visions, and criteria for an applicant. For example, you might get admitted to Harvard, but not to one of your safety schools. You never fully know what a school is looking for. You may have an idea, but you will never fully know. It's a black box, essentially. So, apply widely. Apply to some reach schools, some schools that you'll most likely get into, and some safety schools. At the end of the day, you will become a doctor, no matter where you graduate from. What matters more is what you do with that medical education and how hard and creatively you decide to work. Now, let's get into the don'ts, the do nots. Don't plagiarize. This is self-explanatory. Do not plagiarize. Form your own ideas, your own content. Be yourself. It's okay to get feedback from others, but don't steal other people's ideas, thoughts, or work. This will surely immediately disqualify you. Don't lie in your application. You have to give contact information for every activity you mention in your application. Now, is the AdCom going to contact that POC? Most likely not, but is it worth the risk? What if they do, and they find out that you lied about winning the chess championship in St. Robert, Missouri, when St. Robert has never held a chess game since the beginning of time? Your career in medicine is over before it even began. Do not be complacent with your writing. Check, 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 and recheck your work. There should be no grammatical or spelling errors. Overlooking errors like these is a huge red flag to the AdCom, that you don't pay attention to details. Paying attention to detail is imperative in medicine, since you're given the responsibility of dealing with life and death. Have people look over your work. Have multiple sets of eyes look over your work. Give yourself breaks when you are editing stuff. Take frequent breaks and work on your application with a fresh set of eyes. You'll be surprised with how many simple errors you will find by just taking breaks and then getting back to it. Alright guys, that's all I have for you in this video. Hopefully this video was helpful. I know I wish I had a video like this when I was applying. Let me know if you have any questions, and please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, support the hook.